Hey guys, it's Nikki. Welcome back to another song review. Today I'm going to be listening to Popular by Nada Surf. It was not the winner of a poll recently. I'll pop it in here for you to see. But I wanted to check it out because honestly, I don't know if I remember this or not. I said before that this thumbnail looks familiar, but hearing Nada Surf and Popular, it doesn't really ring any bells for me. So I just want to check it out. It has 11 million views. And this was in a one-hit wonder poll. So even if I know it, we'll still read a little bit about Nada Surf and see what happened to them and where they are today. So let's pop our headphones on, turn it up, and here we go.
No. Hey, I got Penny. There comes a time in every girl's life when she's really got to ask herself. Sometimes to ask herself, is she ready to be going steady? Don't faint.
It's like layered in my headphones.
One month should be enough. Well, first of all, let's say you did it with your name, Johnny. It's easy. And one day Johnny asks you to be steady, Johnny.
Steady
Three
girl.
important rules for breaking up. Don't put off breaking up when you know you want to. Prolonging the situation only makes it worse. Tell them honestly, simply, kindly, but firmly. Don't make a big production. Don't make up an elaborate story. This will help you avoid a big tear-jerking scene. If you want to date other people, say so. Be prepared for the boy to feel hurt and rejected. Even if you've gone together for only a short time and haven't been too serious, there's still a feeling of rejection when someone says she prefers the company of others to your exclusive company. But if you're honest and direct and avoid making a flowery emotional speech when you break the news, the boy will respect you for your frankness, and honestly, he'll appreciate the kind, straightforward manner in which you told him your decision. Unless he's a real jerk or a crybaby, you'll remain friends.
Hey.
I'm popular. My mom says I'm a catch. I'm popular. I'm never last picked. I got a cheerleading chick. Being attractive is the most important thing there is.
Yeah,
If you want to
I
catch the
don't
biggest
know
fish in your
this
pond,
one.
you have to be as attractive as possible. Make sure to keep your hair spotless and clean. Wash it at least every 2 weeks. Once every 2 weeks. And if you see Johnny Football Hero in the hall, tell him he played a great game. Tell him you liked his article in the newspaper. I'm the party star.
You say wash your hair every 2 weeks?
I got my own car. I'm popular.
I'll come back to
I'll
that.
never get caught. I'm popular. I make football bets. I'm the teacher's pet. I propose we support a 1-month limit on going steady. I think it would keep people more able to deal with weird situations and get to know more people. I think if you're ready to go out with Johnny, now's the time to tell him about your 1-month limit. He won't mind, he'll appreciate your fresh look on dating. And once you've dated someone else, you can date him again. I'm sure he'll like it, everyone will appreciate it. You're so novel, what a good idea. You can keep your time to yourself, you don't need date insurance. You can go out with whoever you want to. Every boy in the whole world could be yours. If you'll just listen to my plan, the Teenage Guide to Popularity. I'm head of the class, I'm popular.
I feel like, I don't know.
I'm popular. My mom
I
says
thought
I'm
this was going to be like a silly song,
I'm never last picked.
but it sounds
I'm a cheerleading
like
chick.
kind of dark
Party star.
at times.
Popular. I got my own car. I'm popular. I'll never get caught. I'm popular. I'm the teacher's pet. I make football bets.
Yeah, definitely did not hear this one before. So that's something. I'm happy about that. But yeah, I feel like it was kind of meant to be, well, I thought it was going to be a more lighthearted song. But then just the guitaring, like how that sounded at times, it sounded very dark, and how he was speaking the lyrics and just sounded like he was getting more angry with the popular people. As the song went on, it just kind of was like, a little creepy. But let me see the lyrics first. Let me see if he said wash your hair twice every 2 weeks. Yeah, make sure to keep your hair spotless and clean. Wash it at least every 2 weeks. So I thought that was kind of silly. But then the third verse is just like angry. But I'm going to scooch over and we'll read some about Not a Surf and more about this song if I can find it. Okay, so according to Genius, it says Popular is Not a Surf's first single off their debut album, High Low, an incredibly popular international hit, no pun intended. The track put Not a Surf on the map. Oh, okay, it says here, Rick, I want to say Ocasek. I feel like that's how you guys told me how to say it. I know I said it wrong before, but of legendary 80s band The Cars produced the track. That's kind of cool. He also produced Weezer's debut album, The Blue Album, considered by many as one of the most important albums of the 90s. Okay, so first I wanted to see who Not a Surf is. And they have a website. I just discovered. I was going to read about the band from somewhere else, but they have a website. So let me see that first. It looks like a newspaper. That's cool. Okay, well, I'm going to have to look elsewhere anyway because as cool as their website is, they don't have any information about like who they are. Apparently they had a song called Moon Mirror that was out September 13th, 2024. So they're still doing stuff. But yeah, they don't have anything about, like, you have to have an about page. How do I know who you are? Okay, Not a Surf is an American alternative rock band formed in New York City in 1992, consisting of Matthew Caws, Ira Elliott, and Daniel Lorca. After initially operating under the name Helicopter, Caws and Lorca switched to Not a Surf. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. This is from citizen-times.com. It says, Caws and bassist Daniel Lorca formed Not a Surf in 1992 when they were playing in various professional rock bands, but wanted another outlet for actually enjoying their music rather than just churning it out. We just want to do it for fun, he explained, regarding the derivation of the band name. Daniel felt the same way, so he suggested we just call the new band Nothing. Nothing is nada in Spanish, but that was already taken. Our band name has nothing to do with surfing, but more about using your imagination and dreaming. I feel that way when I listen to music and want to be somewhere far away, like in the sky or floating with a feeling of escape. For whatever reason, those two words sounded like that to me. I like that. So I found some stuff about the song, another website. I'll link everything below so you guys can dive deeper into it if you want to. But this is an interview with Matthew Caws, and the interviewer said one track off of High Low that is familiar to the casual fan of Not a Surf is Popular. The song still gets played on the radio every once in a while, and nearly everyone who grew up in the 90s can recognize it by the first guitar strum. Not me. 20 years after that song came out and hit the top 40 charts, what's your opinion of it? Are you indifferent, or do you wish that people who know the song would dive into Not a Surf's other material? And Matthew Caws said, I feel good about it, and I do wish that people who only know that song would dive into the rest, but that's okay. I don't feel cheated or anything, because if we didn't have that one, then a lot of people wouldn't have heard of us at all. It's the only one of our songs that really got into the mainstream, and that's a blessing, of course, because I'm sure we've caught a lot of fans that way. There are people who first heard that song and then they heard more, so they decided to delve into more of our material. More people like that would be good too, but I guess I can't complain, and we definitely got lucky that one time. And then he said, I really like it still, and I'm grateful that I had such an adventurous spirit for a few minutes, which is really out of character for me. Not that I'm an overly cautious person, but that song is really wild, and I'm not usually that theatrical in my approach to things. The way it happened was I have this book that I bought at Salvation Army on high school etiquette, and I thought it was so funny. At the time, I was listening to a lot of Sonic Youth, and I was playing around with those chords at the beginning of the song, trying to cop a little bit of their chord style, which I'm sure I didn't do successfully. So I was playing around with the 4-track, and I had this little hook, and I thought I could write a chorus from the standpoint of somebody who really believed everything in this book and someone who approached life like that in a very competitive way. Then he said, the parts of the song where I do all that talking were initially empty, which that would be a lot of emptiness if it wasn't for the talking. So there's a lot of talking in this song. Okay, so what we would do during a few shows at the time was bring the book on stage and ask out of the audience, which were people we knew, if anyone would want to come on stage and read out this book during the verses of the song. That's what we did with a couple friends of ours. They would get up on stage and read portions of the book, and it was funny. It was a little performance art moment, and that was the essence of the song. What I wanted for it was to be me talking on one side and a friend of mine named Catherine who would be on the other side, and we'd be conversing vocally. Bryce Goggin, who's a really great producer who was producing our demos at the time, I played him the song so he could mix it. He turned my friend Catherine, who starts off the song by saying, "I got Penny off," and then he turned me up in the middle and was like, "Oh no, I'm not supposed to be on yet." And he kept his finger on the level and wouldn't put it down. Then he said, "Your voice is in the middle and it's really loud. You hear that?" And I said, "Yeah, and I don't want to hear that." And he was like, "Nope, that's a pop song." I give him credit for transforming the song into what it came to be. I mean, it's definitely very interesting. I don't think it's not often that I hear songs like that actually have like talking in it. So I feel like that was very creative, and to go like, I don't want to say this because I feel like it might be a bad comparison to fans of Nada Surf, but I feel like Fall Out Boy did that a lot back in the day, where they would sing, they'd have a chorus, but then he would just start talking, and that's kind of what I think of, but you don't hear it that often. So it's cool, it's creative, and it's interesting that all that stemmed from a book. But you guys let me know what you thought of this song. Did you know the story behind it? What else should I check out by Nada Surf? Do you know more by Nada Surf? How many times can I say Nada Surf? This was fun. I like going back to the 90s. Like I always say, it's my favorite time period, and I was listening to totally different stuff back then. My favorite band was Hanson. I listened to Britney Spears, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. That was what was on my stereo all the time. Ricky Martin, all that kind of music. So there's a lot of bands and songs that I haven't heard of. So we can go down as many songs as you want to together. But with that, I will end this one here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching along with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.